Now let's add to what you've learned in the previous video or two about Active Directory, and in this video I want to introduce the concept of sites. Sites closely resemble routing groups in Exchange Server, and you'll see why in just a minute as you go through the course. First of all, notice here we've got a domain, and we have 2 servers in Dallas and 2 servers in Nashville. Very similar to our example a little earlier about our Exchange overview. Here's the deal. Within Dallas, these 2 servers are connected by a high-speed, reliable network link. However, there's not a high-speed, reliable link between Dallas and Nashville. So in Active Directory, they created a site and put these 2 servers in this site, and they call the site Dallas. That tells Active Directory, do automatic replication between these 2 servers. People don't like these particular people, and so they put them in separate domains, so there's totally separate administrative functionality. It might not even be that sinister. It could be that the 2 different parts of this business have some sort of regulatory requirements that they be separated. So there's a lot of reasons for doing this, but notice here, even though they're both in separate domains, we could put them both in the same site. If we have a fast, reliable connection between Nashville and Dallas, we can put them in the same site, and all replication and so forth will happen automatically between them. So bottom line is, we can have multiple sites in a single domain, or we can have multiple domains in a single site. The bottom line on a site is, the site is what actually connects our Active Directory structure to the actual physical network in our organization. Anytime we put anybody in a site, we're telling them that these machines are constantly connected over a highly reliable link with available bandwidth, and here's where the debate starts. Somewhere between 64K and 512. Most of the time, we call a fast network connection somewhere around 512K. Depending on what you're passing, how much information, how often, you might can get away with 64 if you don't have anything else going. That's kind of rare. Normally you have other things going. So this is a kind of, get a bunch of network people in a room and bring this up, and they'll start throwing chairs at each other eventually. There'll be a debate here. But I wanted you to see an Active Directory site. Now understand, this is very similar to what you're going to see in Exchange, and it's called a routing group there. And it does the same thing for Exchange servers. It says, hey, pass information amongst yourselves automatically within this routing group. Now here's a tip. Most of the time, your Exchange routing groups can match your Active Directory sites. There could be reasons why they would not, but for the most part, that's a good general rule to try to follow. And again, there's 4 million reasons why that won't work sometimes, so just keep that in mind. But I wanted you to see what an Active Directory site was. Now you know what a domain is, what an organizational unit is, what a domain controller is, a tree, a forest, and now a site. So with that information, let's move on into talking about installing Exchange Server 2003.